and welcome to Chef Carter's Cooking Corner. So, today on Chef Carter's Cooking Corner, we are making dandelion greens and fried potatoes. And it's really good, and I'm going to show you how to make it. So, first, you want to take a couple of potatoes. I use three, about medium size, and you don't have to peel them. They were a little bit green on the outside, so I chose to peel these. And these are a white potato. Alright, so there we go. We put that to the side. Now we're going to chop them up. And you can make these as large or as small. I decided to go with about medium size chunks. Alright, and I don't have any water in there because I'm cutting them up fast enough that they're not going to turn brown before I use them. So actually, as soon as I get them done, I already have a pot of boiling water with about half of a teaspoon of salt. Alright, so I'm going to cut up some onions really quickly. So, I want slices of onion. So I have like nice strips. Alright, I decided I want just a little bit. Alright. So, potatoes are in the water, and here are my dandelion greens, the star of our video today. So they look beautiful. I did let them sit probably a day too long. There's a few pieces that are a little bit wilted, but that's alright. We can still eat them. So I'm testing to see how tough the stem is. It's actually a little rougher than I thought it would be. So what I decided to do is just use the tops of the dandelion for this recipe, and then I'm going to save the bottom for when I do other greens, or I can even put them in my smoothie. Alright, because when I'm just barely sauteing them, so I want something that's going to be a little bit more tender. Alright, so that part I'm going to go ahead and throw the root end away, and then the other parts I'm going to put in a freezer bag, and like I said, I'll use those in my smoothie. You know, you put these with a little bit of banana. The banana will actually kill the taste of the greens, and you'll get all the benefit and the fiber without the taste. Alright, now I'm going to add a little bit of bacon. I think I had 5 or 6 pieces of bacon here, and so I'm just kind of cutting these into about 1.5 chunks. It's very scientific. Alright, so we'll get those in the skillet and start cooking them. And I like to cook my bacon on low heat because if you cook your bacon on high heat, it actually causes free radicals to form in your meat. So always cook your meat on medium to low heat. And this will take a while, and it's weird how it does. It takes forever, and then finally, as soon as it starts to turn brown, it gets done in the snap of a finger. Alright, so my bacon is done, and I'm going to go ahead and move it to a small plate and let that sit to the side while I do the rest. Alright, now I like to get my bacon just right. I don't eat it often, so when I do eat it, I want it to be done right. So I poured out the bacon grease, and basically almost all of the bacon grease. And now I'm adding my red onions, and I'm going to let those saute, and this is on medium heat. And we're going to let these saute to, I like them to be really sauteed, nice and brown. It brings out the sweetness of them, caramelizes them. Alright, this will take a minute, so you just want to, watch the heat and, keep your onions moving. Alright, you let them sit for a few seconds without moving them, and don't take your eye off of them. Then move them around. Alright, and then they'll get that flavor of bacon in them. It's going to be really good. Alright, and then you can also add a little bit of water to them, and that'll help them soften up as well. And it also will deglaze the pan, because you can kind of see there's a little bit of bacon. I don't know what you want to call it, film on the pan, a little bit of that flavor. So you do want to deglaze your pan. So some people may use wine, white wine, but you can use just water, it works too. Or a vegetable broth, chicken broth. Alright, so look how that pulls up the flavor. Alright. So that was probably a little bit more than a quarter cup of water. If you add a little bit more, it's okay. It will evaporate. So once they're about to where you want them, go ahead, I spread them out, and I'm putting the dandelion greens in the middle, and we're going to start letting them cook and start adding a little bit of water. I think altogether I added about a half cup of water to help get those cooked down. And remember, meanwhile, we do have the potatoes cooking. We cook those potatoes, starting them just before we put the bacon in the pan. So they're getting all nice and soft in that water. And eventually, like once this water evaporates and I get those potatoes in there, I'm going to start adding that water from the potato. And then that'll kind of give it a little starch and get it a little, it's kind of a sauce, you'll see. So I used a slotted spoon to take those potatoes out of the one pan and to put them into the skillet. So that way you reserve your starchy water. And then, if you do want your potatoes to be crispy and brown, you could cook those in another skillet. And kind kind of knew, like, cooking them with this, they're not going to get like that crispy, like home fry kind of thing, but they're still going to be good. Alright, so I get the potatoes in there and I'm starting to mix. You want to be careful of the amount of salt you add to this, because bacon is salty, at least to me. Alright, but I did add a little bit of seasoning salt on the top, to kind of flavor those potatoes. But I didn't add a lot, and it actually tasted really good. I added maybe a half of a teaspoon of salt, of seasoning salt, which is a little bit different. Alright, so we want the flavors to meld together, so let them cook together for a little bit on low. And like I said, if you need to add more water, if it's looking dry, add some of that water from where you boiled the potatoes. See, add a little bit, and then that'll kind of help form kind of like a sauce. They'll be so good. So, once you get them, cooked up and all the flavors are melted, you want to put that bacon on the top. I'll do that in just a minute. I mean, it'll be good. Now, you could serve this with a little cheese on the top if you like, but, it was just really good. As it is, it was really good. But, dandelion greens have so many health benefits. They help in digestion. They help with bone health. They have vitamin K, which helps with your blood. When you cut yourself, it helps your body form clots. Alright, so there we go, and I put a little herbs on top. And I'm going to tell you, this was a really good job. With the creaminess of the potatoes, and the dandelions were a little tart. I think one thing that may help is maybe add a splash of